So Digimon Adventure Episode 2 has arrived, and a lot of people were excited because when you see Wargame in the title, and you just look at some of the staff involved, you're thinking to yourself, okay, on one hand, I'm super excited, but on the other hand, are we getting to this a little too fast? And there's a lot of debate about this, and I think there's going to be a lot of debate about this anime in particular for probably many months, because on one hand, there's the nostalgia bias of saying, okay, this is how it was done before, are we really supposed to get to something as big as a evolution like we saw at the end of the episode by episode 2? Doesn't that ruin the escalation because we've already seen one of the biggest and badass forms out there? But I would argue against that, because here's the thing. I want this to be a new story. I want this to do different things. And if they want to just remove the nostalgia bias early on and show us some of the best stuff early, redo it in certain ways, and just show us escalation to say, hey, either A, we're going to reach this again eventually, just to give those newcomers to say, like, oh shit, I want to see that again. I want to see whatever that was, and why can't we reach that again? Or maybe they'll go the route of saying, this is going to be a very common thing early on. And if that's the case, that means we're going to have even better and badass forms in the future. And that's fine for me. I don't want to just see the same thing happen time and time again. As much as I love seeing Tai and Matt and things like that, I love seeing like, oh yeah, they're doing things like this, and oh, I didn't even expect something like that. Sure, you can look at it and say, okay, if we're comparing it to the original series, this is happening too fast. But this isn't the original series. This is Digimon Adventure 2020. This is a completely new story, and until we see the entirety of this story, we can't say for sure if certain things happen too fast. Sure, at the moment you can say, maybe the pacing was a little fast here, or you thought the pacing was great. Sure, but you could have 5 episodes from now that will change your opinion on what you're feeling currently, because that's the thing with watching weekly anime. Until you see the entire product, you can't know for sure if you truly love or hate something. You can enjoy it, but it's hard to give you that 100% confident answer of what you totally feel. So for me to see like Wargame in episode 2, and just to see one of the best forms in Digimon Adventure, like, I'm not mad in the slightest. I'm excited because this is new territory, and they're showing us things that you would expect in the late game right off the bat. That means either we're going to see a bunch of new stuff, or this will just be a teaser to say, hey, we're giving you that, like, I don't even know what a good example would be. You could look at certain, like, shonens and how there's certain characters in, like, My Hero Academia and things like that. Like, if you look at Deku's idea of, like, wanting to be All Might. He has great abilities, but he's going to take a long time to get there. It could be a very similar situation to what we're seeing at the end of the episode. Nonetheless, it was exciting. I mean, episode 1, I think, took a lot of people by storm. We were kind of expecting most bare bones thing out there, and a majority of people were quite satisfied because not only did it look great, it also felt like it was doing new things and kind of like mixing and matching ideas while also clearly building up to a new story. So to have Wargame where literally a missile is going towards Tokyo, what do you do? And you only have 2 Digi-destined, I guess 3 because you got a guy on the computer, but still, it's not really much to work with, especially when this is your first rodeo fighting Digimon. But it's really nice to see what they're able to do because, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh god, are they gonna like turn Mad Evil or something? And I wasn't expecting that. I just thought maybe they'd keep them a little more separated for the time being. But it's nice how, like, it just felt like shit was going to chaos, like it was really going to chaos. And it was just a matter of, like, it's not time to play superhero. You got characters like Tai who are, like, trying to be super friendly because that's his persona, he wants to make friends, but it's like, someone like Matt, this isn't his first rodeo, you can clearly tell. He's really just trying to save the world here. And I love how they kind of combine their powers. Like, I always love it with Digimon how you can look at a lot of the fights and just say, okay, they're just using a fire attack or they're just using a close quarter combat attack. That's all they're doing, but it's really nice how they spice up the visual flair, and then sometimes you have the combination of abilities even when they're not fused together and things like that. So it always makes it really fun. And I mean, once again, the soundtrack just was hitting it out of the park. I mean, I'm actually very curious because I feel like this is going to be one of those shows that has a ridiculously long soundtrack of just like 30 to 50 songs. Because if you look at episode 1, there was like 4 or 5 pieces of music that were just incredibly well produced. This episode had more or less 1 or 2 that was like the entirety of the episode, but it was also really well produced. It was great battle music. I'm curious how much of the soundtrack we've heard as of right now up to episode 2. If they have a lengthy soundtrack, it doesn't matter how many times they repeat songs because these songs are incredible. I kind of feel like it's going to be one of the best soundtracks of the year. I'm not even joking. I think the thing that I think will keep like everyone watching no matter what is that it feels like Digimon like we first watched. It does. It feels like you're going on an adventure that you're confused about. You don't know what we're seeing, but you just see these creatures and they're talking to us, and you feel like you want to follow like the Digidestined are. And that's something that I think it can easily be forgotten when you're going back to either do a new series in a beloved franchise, or you're trying to do like a reboot slash sequel, whatever you're trying to do with a beloved property. It feels like you missed the mark. What came before, why people loved it to begin with. But I don't feel that. I don't feel like we're just simply rehashing the same territory. I feel like, yeah, we're seeing things that we've seen before, but it's clearly building up into something we are not expecting. And I think we're definitely going to see, probably by like the episode 6 mark, we're going to see something it's brand new territory, 100% brand new territory. And we got past the nostalgia bias, and we're just going to see something brand new. Or maybe it will just be very similar for the entire run, but based on the first 2 episodes, I can confidently say, if this is what we're going to expect, like if this is how it's going to be fun at the very least, and I think there's going to be enough ways to spice up the formula for new and old fans alike to basically feel like it's something worth watching and keeping up with. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of talk about this Digimon anime, and before it started airing, I was seeing a lot of talk, but not good talk. I was kind of seeing like, yeah, I'm going to watch it, but it's just going to be nostalgia bullshit. That's what people assumed, or at least from the people I follow, that's pretty much what I was seeing. But now I'm seeing a lot of people saying, okay, this might actually be worth keeping up with. And I haven't seen much talk around episode 2 yet. I just got up here to record my thoughts. But I'm hoping that same feeling is going through, because I'm still enthusiastic about this. I feel like these characters have so much possibilities, both with the old content and brand new stories that they can take them on, that these personalities are just so perfect to redo time and time again in new and interesting ways, because the characters are timeless. The Digimon themselves are also timeless. Everything about Digimon Adventure is timeless, and it doesn't feel like it's super connected to the original creators, so new minds or old minds can retake it and do it in completely new territory, unlike something like Tamers, which is a lot more personal to the creator. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with episode 3. I'm really excited to see how long Wargame will last, if they're going to do 3 episodes worth, 2 episodes worth, and just how long it will take to really assemble the entire squad, because we're getting tastes. We're seeing more Digidestins be formed, and it'll be interesting to see what they truly are planning with this, because, I mean, what's the virtual world really going to look like, and just what's going to happen after they clearly save the day? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It really is. I mean, Digimon Adventure is a damn fun show, and I don't think many people can deny that. Even if you're not the biggest fan of this new version, it's still fun. No one can deny it. Just maybe it's not fun personally for you. For me, it definitely is, and it's still bringing a giant grin to my face. One of the things I'll always give Digimon over things like Pokemon is how I feel like the story is a lot more hammered in than in, say, like Pokemon, since it's a lot more like, episodic battles. Yeah, you have the objective to go to the gyms and then the league and all that, yeah. But with Digimon, it feels like there's a giant threat. So when you're just watching these creatures fight, you know the story in the back of your mind. So it keeps you excited and engaged, being like, okay, even if this battle looks and functions very familiar to something we just saw or have seen already, we know the reason for these characters, why they're so passionate in fighting, and that's what makes it really interesting. Like, I love how they're giving Tai an ability to kind of like toss around the monsters himself. Like, he can't do much, but he's still doing some things. And it's nice how it feels like it's a group effort, so it feels like a big story, and they're terrified for their city to be destroyed. And even for someone like Matt, who may not come from there, he still is worried because he knows that they need to stop it, and only they can. And I mean, they end on literally the most explosive note possible. The creature that we defeat how many times? Like 3 times, is now in his like ultimate form, and we see our characters in their ultimate form. It is like, what in the actual hell? Like, that's not only just remove what you know about the story and characters, it's cool on a visual level. But the thing with it is a lot of shows rely on the cool factor. They don't have depth elsewhere. But here, we literally have character motivations that we want to root for, as if, damn right, save Tokyo, save the world, and learn more about this Digidestined curse or blessing. It's always interesting to see how characters respond to like a new form power. And I'm liking how they're incorporating the trainers a lot more into the battles than what I remember early on with the original Digimon Adventure. And I hope to see more just incorporations. Like, obviously I'm not expecting it like some of the later shows where it's like literally combinations, but it is nice to see that it feels more like a group effort rather than just someone on the sidelines saying, Mega Flame, do Mega Flame, do another Mega Flame. Like, it actually feels like they're actually being incorporated, which is really nice. So it gives a nice visual flair and also story flair that I think is going to keep a lot of people engaged both inside and outside the battles. There's a lot of Digimon fans who will watch just for the battles alone because the Digimon look cool. Can't deny it, can't even blame them, if I'm being honest. But for me, the thing that keeps it really exciting and worth talking about is how the story's interesting. You literally have Wargame at episode 2, nuclear missiles being launched. That's exciting, and you don't get to see stuff like that in Pokemon. And I'm not here to shit on Pokemon. I like Pokemon a lot, but it's just interesting to compare the two. And I can understand why so many were so gung-ho about Digimon when I was in my Pokemon phase, is basically all I'm saying. Loving the voice actors. I rarely watch Digimon in Japanese, but goddamn are they hitting it out of the park, and I can't be more thrilled. But as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions on episode 2 of Digimon Adventure Wargame down in the comment section below. What did you think about them introducing a lot of stuff a lot people probably thought we were going to get much later? Are you for it, or are you completely against it? Whatever you're feeling, let me know. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like to show your support. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.